in this room wants to know about? Is that the first shoulder rub you've gotten during the course of play, or is there something with you and Khaled maybe we need to know more about?
No, that was funny. Well, I didn't even know what he. I didn't notice until the end what he was doing, getting the crowd fired up. But I loved it. That's awesome, and I was I don't know, humbled to be part of that moment. He's such a great fan there, and I've over the years said hello a few times, but that was the best interaction, and that was genuine. It was cool.
Did you know at first when someone was rubbing your shoulders who it was?
Yeah, because I saw him like at first. I was like, man, who's on the court? And then I saw him like getting the crowd going, and I generally don't get involved in that, but that was fun.
Jimmy didn't have 40 tonight, but he just seemed to control the game
Yeah, he did.
in all of his minutes. Is this version of Jimmy in this playoffs kind of remind you of 2 years ago a little bit? With what he did in the bubble.
Jimmy is just such a stable, high IQ. He's got a great feel for what your team needs, and he does it on both ends, and that's what's really kind of lost on, of young players, super young players coming into this league, of really what that looks like being a two-way basketball player. He was orchestrating so many things for us offensively, particularly with Kyle out. And he's been able to toggle between those roles seamlessly and make it look a lot easier than it is, in terms of just being like a scoring option. Tonight, he was that scoring option, but also facilitating for us. He was kind of initiating offense for us quite a bit. And you just feel our whole team feels a great sense of confidence when the ball's in Jimmy's hands and we leave the decision up to him. He's a very efficient, offensive basketball player.
Spo, following up on that, Jimmy's obviously done it before he got here, but why do you think he has consistently been able to raise the level of his own game when you guys have needed it most?
He's a great competitor. At his core, in his heart, in his soul. Yeah, he's an ultimate competitor. And when you get into competition, he understands the whole deal. That you have to be able to do it on both ends. And that's what he's been doing for us for 3 years. Just really competing on both ends. But he's able to compete with a ferocity and do it with an incredible stable mind, and that is really unique, to be in the heart of competition and all the emotions. And when it gets the craziest is when he's really just locked in on making sure that it's solid winning basketball for our team.
Coach, it looked like you guys were fighting through screens a lot more defensively, and this one allowed Bam to kind of be glued to Embiid, I guess, a little bit more. Was that intentional heading into this one, that you guys kind of wanted to get to that?
Look, this series is shifting quite a bit, and you're dealing with, a really skilled offensive team, and Harden and Embiid, in particular, require great detail. They've earned that kind of respect from our team. And if you're not doing it with great detail and focus and trusting each other, to your system, you don't have a shot with them. I think more importantly, we were really committed to making multiple efforts. You can have a game plan; it can look great, going through a walkthrough or in a film session or on the chalkboard. But when you put it out to the wood, there's going to be a bunch of things that just don't turn out the way you thought because of their talent. And look, Maxey and Harris, present like incredible challenges as well. So, we've had to adjust some things, as the series goes on, and that's what's required right now.
You just talked about adjustments, and I know it's your job, but how much do you enjoy pouring into that adjustment process, specifically after Game 4 and into this game? And do you look at it as a strategy between you and Doc? Or
No, I mean, I have incredible respect for Doc. I always have. Like, he's a brilliant basketball coach and leader. And I think they have a very good basketball team. They have our full respect in our locker room. This is what playoff basketball is. It's about embracing the competition. We're grateful that we have an opportunity to be a part of a series like this that is so competitive. And the margin of error is so small both ways. I know, this game, it can look like, a blowout, but we understand. It's just one game. They know it, we know it, and you gotta get on, and get ready for the next one.
Bam gets a lot of attention for what he does against perimeter players, but just how hard is it what he's doing right now, just fronting Embiid and trying to make every pass as difficult as possible?
It really is. I really hope the average fan can really take joy in the basketball aficionado, just how complex this series is. You have contrasting styles, and Bam did so many things that impacted the win. And then you look at his stat line and you're like, all right, now people probably will think like that's just an average game. And that's just absolutely winning basketball. It's the toughest, arguably the toughest cover at that position. And then to anchor our defense, to do multiple schemes all the time while he's in the game, and to be able to handle that and then compete, to keep that competitive edge, that really drives us. He's the heart and soul of our team. I just thought it was a great winning basketball game, and he really impacted it with his energy and his discipline and detail on both ends.
I wanted to get your thoughts on moving Duncan back into a rotation chance, but also was it a matter of then Max sort of got going and you just stayed with what was hot?
Yeah, I mean, we're a team that, X factors impact, our ability to win. And we have a lot of different guys that can be X factors. We have so many guys on our team that if they just see one or two go, that can turn into 4 or 5 in a hurry. They're that ignitable. I've always said that about Duncan, but we have like a list of those kind of guys. Don't let them see 2 go in. And Max is one of those guys. But I think Max has been playing winning basketball all series. And that's the shame of it. If you lose or if you're not scoring, and people might not recognize it, but he's actually all the playoffs. I think he's played winning basketball.
Spo, average margin of victory is 18.6 in this series. I know you just alluded to tonight's game being closer than the box score indicates, but what do you attribute to the wins being sort of one-sided and one team seemingly have it and the other team not game to game?
I don't know. It's the playoffs. It's there are no absolutes. So it could be that way, and then the next game really could just be a possession game that goes down to the last shot. We know how tough it'll be going back up to Philly, but we have a bunch of guys that like that type of challenge, and we have deep respect for our opponent.
Victor's had some good playoff games already this spring, but with Kyle out, it seems like he has to run your second unit. What makes him so good in that specific role?
Well, he's done it before. That's one of the things that I've always respected about Vic. He's been a number 1, number 2 guy, particularly when he was with Indiana. But there were a couple of years that he played the backup point, for them, and played it kind of in a similar way that we played Dwayne Wade back in the day. For our team, the versatility just really fits. His ability to guard multiple positions, but also to be able to organize us a little bit. Have that kind of experienced talent when Kyle's out. That potentially could be really devastating. to some teams, but we have a lot of other guys that have been able to step up, and Vic is one of them. Gabe, obviously, I think Gabe, what he's been able to do is just really tough. He's had probably 7 different roles just in this playoff run with us, and it sometimes changes from one half to the next, and he's handled it with great stability and grace. But Vic, in this role without Kyle, it allows Tyler still to be Tyler, and that's really important for our team.
Spo, we've talked so much about how this series can shift kind of at a moment's notice, but can a win like this be a momentum swing? And if so, how do you kind of try at least to just bring that with you back to Philly?
It could, but I think we have enough experience that we understand it doesn't necessarily translate to the next game. You have to have deep respect for going into that place. I don't want all of our guys to embrace it. It's going to be a rocking environment. If you're a competitor, you just love these kind of moments, and you treasure it. These are kind of moments that you'll remember, years from now. I want all of our guys to be able to experience that and enjoy that.
Erik, can you describe sort of the different approaches you've had to defending James Harden throughout this series, and just assess how you think your team has done with him?
Depends on the moment, depends on the quarter, depends on the game. Like, he's an MVP. It requires your full respect, attention to detail, and then you have to just simply make incredible multiple efforts, not give up on plays ever, and do it with incredible detail and discipline. He's that good. It depends. Sometimes that's what competition is all about, particularly in the playoffs. Sometimes they get you, sometimes you get them, and that's what it's all about. Who can get who to blink, and who can do, what you do well more often than what they do, and it's a big challenge. He's very skilled. He understands what what we're trying to do. Get to this round, like, it ain't easy.
All right, Coach. Thank you.